This is the Hotness and Sweetly. We'd like to welcome you back to another edition of our Restaurant Magic podcast show. Thank you so much for tuning in today because we know you have options, but we're just so happy that you choose to listen to the Hotness and Sweetly because we love to eat, we love to grub, and it's just, just fun, conversation talking about food because, we're foodies, and you know what that means, right? We've been eating for years, so that means we're expert foodies. And on our show, we love to highlight, restaurant owners, chefs, sous chefs, just anything associated with food. And we just love to stay connected with that. And today we have a special guest. It's her first podcast. We're so happy. But it's Ellen from Barretts Cookies, located here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was in, Michael's English Muffins, and I saw Ellen's cookies on the counter. They were just I can't describe them. They were just plump with chocolate chips. I saw some funfetti ones, and I just could not resist. So I just wanted to say welcome, Ellen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm super excited for my first podcast, so I'm just ready to answer all the questions you guys have.
Well, I'll say one of the first questions I have is just how did you get started? I was reading some information about how you've been baking since you've been like 5 years old. How did you get started?
So, my grandma actually, so I'm from Virginia. I live in Raleigh now, but originally a Virginia girl. And my grandma actually, her livelihood was owning a restaurant. It was an all-you-can-eat buffet, and it was fried chicken and biscuits. She got up every morning and made everything from scratch, all the good Southern hearty soul food you can think of, fried apples. If it was fried or could be fried, she had it at her restaurant. She taught me how to make biscuits at 5 years old. Before I would go to preschool, I was in there with my little miniature rolling pin, rolling out that biscuit dough. So I grew up kind of in the restaurant industry, and my grandma is just like the most amazing person and kind of my number one person, my number one fan. Hopefully my mom and dad don't get offended if they hear this, but she's really just a great mentor. And I really didn't think about kind of starting my own business, but I've always loved to bake. I work in corporate America full time, and I've always loved sharing goodies with everybody that I worked with, and always got compliments. I wasn't sure if they were genuine. I was like, is it really good, or are they just being nice to me? I'm not sure. But I fell in love with chocolate chip cookies. Who does not love a good chocolate chip cookie? So I just kind of started brainstorming with one of my best friends that I currently work with. And we were like, how cool would it be to, just start a little side hustle, as we call it. And I thought, why not cookies and biscuits? Like, nobody really does biscuits, and who doesn't love a good cookie? So we came up with the cookies and the biscuits, and kind of wanted to do the wedding industry. It's very big in the Raleigh area, especially with social media nowadays. The wedding industry has just really blown up, I feel like. So that was our goal, was to get into the wedding industry. And then, funny enough, I found Annabelle's Michael's English Muffins. It's right across the street from my office, and posted on my Instagram. And on my cookie Instagram, I posted something tagging her. So long story short, she was like, do you do wholesale? Do you sell your cookies? And I'm going to tell her myself now, she doesn't know this. I had no clue what wholesale was. I had no clue what she was talking about. But I thought, yes, I sure do that. Fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
She really has, she doesn't even know that she's like really been kind of an inspiration to me, and she really got me started because I didn't even know this could be an outlet. So that's kind of how it all started.
Wow, it's all about, you just tagged her, and, she reached out, because she's, Anna, very sweet. But yesterday I was in at the butcher's market, And I saw your cookies there. I was just like, oh, my gosh, it's just everywhere. I'm surrounded by cookies, and Sweetly knows how I love the cookies.
Yeah, they are at the butcher's market. Yeah, I love the chocolate chip. It's a classic. You can't go wrong with a chocolate chip cookie.
But I have had some where people didn't do them right. So I know that yours is probably delicious if the Hotness says so. How many did you eat, Hotness?
Just 10. You know, my usual. I usually try and stop at 10.
Well, I definitely have to try them. And I also read where you have the partner, Miss Lauren. Is that the one with the English muffin?
Laurel, yep. So she and I work together again in my corporate America big girl job.
Okay.
That's what I call it.
Big girl job. I like that.
Big girl job. Yeah. I have to have the big girl job to fund my passion job, which are the cookies and biscuits. So yeah, we're partners.
Okay.
She does a lot of my marketing. She helped me come up with my logo. She's done the whole website. So she's really my kind of creative genius partner. I needed her because I'm not great at that. So Annabelle has kind of inspired me to get this whole wholesale business up and running. And then Laurel is my best friend that I'm lucky enough to have, that she has great talents that I'm not blessed with. So we're just like the perfect balance, I guess.
Well, you know, he gives the vision to one, but it takes many to make the vision happen. So he put her right there for you. Yeah, and she likes the, she's savory and you're sweet. So does she help you with any of the cookies?
She does occasionally. So I do some weddings. It's not the focus. Obviously, the butcher's market keeps me really busy. They are my number one client just for volume. But I do definitely do some private orders. I've done some birthday parties. People will just do personal orders. But I do love doing the weddings. I've met so many sweet couples in the Raleigh area doing the weddings. And we actually did a really large biscuit wedding. We talk about cookies the most because that's what we wholesale. But one really great thing that we do is biscuit bars for weddings. And this bride and groom, his father worked for Got to Be NC. With the agricultural department. Yeah. And so his dad made all these homemade jams and jellies and brought those. And then we went to the church kitchen and were making fresh little petite biscuits. And so we were bringing out fresh hot biscuits, different flavors, and then people could pair them up with the father's homemade jams and jellies. And Laurel, anytime I have a big event like that, she's right there in the kitchen with me, helping me get those biscuits out of the oven and put them on the table for the people. So she's always there when I need her, whatever it is, even if it's not focused around marketing.
Oh, that sounds like the Hotness and Sweetly.
I know, right?
She's always there when I need her.
Yeah.
So Ellen, I'm listening to you, and I you said you do the weddings with your cookies and your biscuits. So what happens? Like, how do people? I know about the wedding cakes, obviously, but like, how do they want your cookies presented at their wedding? Do you build a big cookie tower or something like that? Like, what happens?
So we've had a few different kind of ways you can present cookies at your wedding. You can do a cookie bar. I know up north in Pennsylvania, I don't know if it's all of Pennsylvania because, again, I'm a Virginia girl, or if it's just in the Pittsburgh area. But the thing in Pennsylvania are cookie tables. And even if people move, actually the wedding I'm going to this weekend in Asheville, the bride is from Pittsburgh, and the big thing is this cookie table. And I have had brides inquire in Raleigh about it as well. But you can put them on, cute little cake stands. Glass cookie jars are always a classic way to present the cookies. A lot of people love to have them as wedding favors. They want to do the traditional cake, have the cake cutting. So they still want that element of tradition. but then they want a favor that's not going to get wasted. So a lot of people do the sunglasses, the koozies, and they're cute in the moment, but they either get left or put in the trash or what have you.
They sure
do. But cookies are a food item, especially the late night munchies after a wedding all day. A lot of people love to have them as the wedding favors, and they just put them at the place setting. That's probably our most popular ask for weddings, honestly, is to have them as the favor.
But I've always seen like a candy table. So instead of a candy table, you have a cookie table.
A cookie table, yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It is awesome. Yep. Now, I'd like to just revert back. You said you do biscuits as well, but you said flavored biscuits. So I know butter biscuits. I even know cheese biscuits. But what other flavors do you put in a biscuit?
Well, yes, just like you said, you've got to have that buttermilk biscuit. That is the classic biscuit, just like you've got to have that chocolate chip cookie. So, of course, we have the classic buttermilk. We also, you picked another flavor that we have. We have a good cheesy biscuit. I like to use a mix of cheddar. Some people don't like that strong, that cheddar taste, so I do a mix of sharp and mild. That way, it kind of appeals to both. But a couple other ones that we have are a good blueberry biscuit for those people who like blueberry muffins, blueberry pancakes. We do blueberry biscuit, can do a little cream cheese drizzle over the top to make it a little sweet treat. And then another one that people kind of are skeptical of at first but end up loving is the chocolate chip biscuit. Really good.
So, Ellen, where can people get your biscuits? I know where to find the cookies. Like, where can people get your biscuits?
Yeah, so we don't wholesale the biscuits because, in my opinion, I only want to sell products that I can be proud of and that I would want to consume. And as you ladies know, biscuits are best when fresh. So normally for the biscuits, I'll only do, I mainly, like I said, do those for weddings. I can do one-off orders for same-day deliveries, but I am very honest about how to best enjoy your biscuits, which is fresh. If anybody wants to inquire about ordering biscuits, though, you can go to our website. It's barrettscookies.com. And there is a section at the bottom where you can contact us, and that's also how we receive cookie orders. It sends it directly to our email account. So anytime you guys have any questions, want to place an order, get in contact with us, you can go straight to our website.
And that's Barretts Cookies.
Barretts Cookies.
Oh, no, go ahead, Sweetly.
Oh, I was going to ask, Ellen, are all these cookies baked in your kitchen?
Yes. So it is a small in-home bakery. I have looked at, there are some industrial kitchens in the Durham area that you can rent out space. But right now with my location, it just works best to be able to do it out of my house. So yeah, it's something that I do after I get off of my big girl job. And then primarily on the weekends, I focus on the cookie business.
All right. That's just fabulous. I'm looking at your cookies. You got the chocolate chip, the oatmeal chocolate chip, the Funfetti, which is the one I had, M&M's, and you got some premium cookies. I see a vegan chocolate chip, s'mores, oatmeal butterscotch bacon sweetly. Did you hear that? The bacon part? What?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not done. You got the sweet and salty, cookies and cream, and cookie butter. Okay. I want to know more about this cookie butter. I mean, Sweetly, you know anything about the cookie butter?
No, but Ellen's going to tell us.
Have you guys not heard about cookie butter?
No.
Oh, well, I'm about to just completely expand your world and your palate. Okay. So I'm not getting paid to say this, but Trader Joe's I think they kind of started the whole cookie butter craze. Okay. But the traditional cookie butter, if you ladies ever fly Delta, which I'm also not getting paid to say, they give you those little Biscoff cookies.
Yes.
So cookie butter is ultimately those Biscoff cookies ground up and put into a jar with the consistency of a peanut butter.
Wow.
Oh.
So I'm almost making a cookie out of a cookie.
Oh, man, what?
Oh, wow, we have to try that hotness.
I know. We're going to go to, like, the butcher's market. We're going to Michael's English Muffins. We're getting the cookie butter.
You ladies,
okay?
let me know next time you guys are going to be by Annabelle's, and I can drop you off a special little package of the cookie butter ones because we don't wholesale those. So some of the flavors on the website we don't wholesale. I have tried wholesaling some different ones, especially in the butcher's market. Sometimes I'll try to switch up the flavors a little bit. We carry 4 flavors there, and especially during the holidays, you guys might see some special flavors that you wouldn't normally see. But anytime I try to deviate, it seems like the clientele just always want those 4 staples. So there are definitely flavors on the website that you can only get if you order directly from me. Okay. So that's a little hint.
People probably don't want to deviate from what they know and like. They want to stick with it. Like me, I just like chocolate chip. So wherever I go, I'm going to get the chocolate chip. But I am willing to try. My palate is large. I am willing to try this cookie butter. So we definitely hotness. Do not go there without me.
Sorry, I'm already in the car on my way.
Don't give her nothing.
It's good stuff.
I believe you, Ellen. Ellen, what's your favorite cookie?
Oh, man, it depends on the day that you're asking me, honestly. Like I said, I love the chocolate chip. I mean, it's where this whole business started is my love for finding the perfect chocolate chip cookie. And I completely understand that everyone has a different definition of what makes a cookie great. Some people love the thin, crispy cookies. If that's your cookie goal, you will probably not love my cookies, if I'm being honest. Like you ladies mentioned, my cookies are big, thick. I call them buttery bombs because they are they're soft, they're super buttery. So my all-time favorite is always going to be the chocolate chip. But occasionally I like to throw an M&M in there. It's not that different from the chocolate chip, but those little M&Ms, they get me every time. So, yeah, I mean, I love them all. Like I said, if I don't personally love it or want to eat it, I wouldn't expect anyone to ever want to purchase it. So anything I sell is going to be something that I love, something that I have had my friends taste test. I will take cookies to work and have my coworkers taste test. So they're all approved by somebody.
You did explain some of the things that are in your cookies, and I have 2 questions. First of all, what makes your cookie different from anybody else's cookie? And then after that, where do you think you see yourself? I know you say you got the big girl job and everything, but I thought, let's see, 3 years from now, where do you want to take this? Where do you want to be?
Yeah, those are great questions. So for the first question, what makes my cookies different? I think I've kind of already touched on it a little bit, but I think just the fact that they are so thick and soft and they stay that way. I've had several people say, how do you get them to be so, like, soft? And they stay that way for days and days. They don't dry out. They just stay really moist and buttery, and that's just, to me, an amazing cookie. So I would say that's probably what sets them apart. And then also some of the interesting flavors you guys mentioned. Not many places are going to have oatmeal, butterscotch, and bacon.
No.
That's kind of,
I think that's the one I'm going to get, and I love chocolate chip.
So the flavor selection also kind of sets me apart. I tried to do some research about other cookie companies and bakeries in the Raleigh and Durham area because I wanted to be able to set myself apart a little bit from some of the other, especially smaller locally owned places. So I think my flavor selection also sets me apart. For the second part of your question about where do I see myself in 3 years, that is a fully loaded question. I have people ask me all the time, do you want to quit your corporate job and just do cookies? And I think in a perfect, simplistic world, of course, that would be so amazing. And I thoroughly applaud all the entrepreneurs out there and Instagram influencers who go quit their, whether it be an 8 to 5, 9 to 5, part-time, they kind of quit their job to go out and really invest in their passion. It takes a lot of nerve, and to be honest, I don't have that in me right now. Just in the stage of life that I'm in, my corporate job, I do really enjoy it. I've worked really hard to get where I am in my corporate job, and I enjoy the people that I work with. Obviously, the benefits that it provides. Once you leave that all behind, having a grandmother that grew up owning her own restaurant, I see the struggles with the things that you hate to have to think about, but you do. Things like insurance and 401k and, all the big girl adulting. You have to be realistic with, okay, if I left that career job, where does that leave not only me but my future family? So, I appreciate my corporate job for all of the benefits that it offers me. I also met my boyfriend at my corporate job, so I'm really thankful for it in that way. And my best friend. I met my best friend at my corporate job. So you can't, the people that you meet, I've been really blessed. But, who knows? I've always said, if something happened and, the Lord blessed me with a child, that might be the perfect time to take my passion and grow it while I'm not working, because I might want to be at home with a child or what have you. You never know. I think it's a great option. I'm not saying it would never happen. I can't say that it would happen in the next 3 years, but wherever I am in the next 3 years, I just hope I'm happy.
That's what's most important, that you're happy. So corporate world, if you're happy with it, you just stay right there until it's time, and you cook those cookies in your oven and just keep on keeping on. And
I hear you, girl.
Your gift makes room for you. So keep doing what you're doing, and wherever God has for you and planned, it will be fulfilled. So I really admire you doing both, because some people can't handle both, That's multitasking, and I admire that as well, because after doing a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, you want to relax on the weekend or maybe just, do something, but you've dedicated yourself to taking care and doing your business, which is awesome. So I give you kudos.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Before we wrap up, Ellen, great question, Sweetly. We like to ask restaurant owners or business owners, such as yourself, what's the one piece of advice you would give a future, you coming up? What advice would you give them?
I would say do your research. If you're blessed enough to kind of have a mentor like I kind of found in Annabelle, she's always there to answer any questions that I have. Do your research and network. Build those really genuine relationships where you can lean on these people and get quality advice. Don't get overly wrapped up in the social media world. Obviously, it is great. That's how I met Annabelle. But don't worry so much about presenting the perfect picture. Present the real picture. That would probably be the advice that I have, because I know everyone is so caught up in the Instagram and the Facebook and Twitter. Be you and do you, and be proud of who that is. Don't put the perfect filter on every picture. Just be real and let people love the real you and not the filtered you.
Be authentic. I hear you, Ellen. Yes. That's so important. So before we go, do you want to tell the audience one more time how they can get in touch with you, find out more about your delicious cookies and biscuits?
Sure. So you can find our cookies at Annabelle's, which is Michael's English Muffins. It's off of Capitol Boulevard. Or we are also in the Butcher's Market, the Raleigh location only. I know they do have a couple other locations in the Raleigh area, but we are specifically at the Raleigh location off of Falls of New. So you can find us there. Our cookies are right by the cash register, so you can't miss them. If you want to place an order for one of the flavors, we don't offer wholesale, or want to inquire about a wedding or anything else, or just want to say hey, you can go to our website. It's barrettscookies.com, and you can go down to the Contact Us section and shoot us a message.
All right. That sounds great. We really appreciate you, and I just know that God is going to continue to bless you, and before you know it, those cookies are going to be everywhere.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate this opportunity.
You are more than welcome. This has been the Hotness and Sweetly, checking out what Barretts Cookies and Biscuits are all about. Bye.
Shouldn't laws be black and white? Doesn't everyone deserve the same treatment? For 15-year-old Gemini Berry, the answers are obvious. But then a crime shocks Gemini's small town, and she learns that many adults see things in shades of gray. In Mika Chanel's novel, Just as the Sky is Blue, Gemini Berry is forced to grow up fast when her mother agrees to play a central role in a sensational murder trial that tears her small town apart. As the trial spins out of control, secrets are revealed and old debts are settled, and Gemini's life is ultimately changed forever. Order Mika Chanel's book, Just as the Sky is Blue. Just as the Sky is Blue is available on Amazon.com, Kindle, and Audible.com.